Have you ever had one of those moments where you think, wait, is this really happening? You know, those little everyday things that totally throw you off even though everyone else seems perfectly fine with it. Well, that's exactly what happened to me when I moved to the US. I thought I was prepared, having lived in different countries and adjusted to new cultures before. But then these small things kept catching me off guard, and I started wondering, why does this feel so strange? In this video, I'm sharing 3 culture shocks that really stuck with me and changed how I see things. Stick around till the end and I'll show you how these moments can help you rethink everyday life, making it a bit easier and more intentional. When I first moved to Alpharetta, it was a new environment for me and I was excited to explore. I love walking, it clears my mind and helps me feel connected to my surroundings. So one sunny afternoon during my first month here, I decided to head to a nearby shopping mall on foot while my husband was at work. I imagined a relaxing walk, a bit of adventure, maybe even a good coffee at the end. But what I didn't expect was how out of place I would feel. The sidewalks were there, sure, but I was completely alone on them. Cars zoomed past, no other pedestrians in sight, and everything felt so spaced out, like I was walking between the islands rather than through a town. It's funny though, once you actually get to the mall, everyone's walking around like normal. But walking to the mall, that's apparently where the line is drawn. The whole setup just assumes you already own a car. It made me think, what would happen if someone drove from one end of the mall to the other? Honestly, I don't think anyone would find it strange. Back in St. Petersburg, where I lived for over a decade, walking was simply part of daily life. The whole city invited you to walk more often. Sidewalks were wide, metro stations were everywhere. You didn't walk just to get somewhere. You walked to be part of the city, to notice the rhythm of the streets, the change in seasons, the people. And in places like New York, walking is the rhythm. But here, some days it feels like going out for a walk is almost suspicious, like I'm violating some unwritten suburban rule, like, hey, where is your car? As you can see, no one is walking here, not a single person. Well, as you can see, the same situation here. And as you can see, the same situation here. Many cars and no one walking. Okay, let's talk about something that still blows my mind. Ice. What's up with ice? I mean, I know it's just a part of how people drink water and sodas here, but it still surprises me every single time. I've come to realize that when you order a glass of water in the US, you're not getting just water. Oh, no, no, no. What you get is a mountain of ice with just a small amount of water. Like they're trying to turn your drink into an ice sculpture rather than hydrate you. At first I didn't mind, but now I've learned the hard way. If I don't ask for no ice at every restaurant, I end up with what's essentially a snow cone that takes forever to melt. What really gets me is that no one seems to have a solid explanation for the love of ice. Like, where did this come from? Who decided that the more ice you put in your drink, the better it is? Anyway, these days I just make sure to ask for no ice. Lesson learned. When I first moved to the US, one thing that took me completely by surprise was how deeply ingrained the "I'm busy" culture is. I'm talking about so busy lifestyle that people seem to wear like a badge of honor. It hit me harder than I expected. I came here thinking that life would be, a little more balanced. I wanted to meet new people, make some connections, and build friendships. So I decided to try something simple. I started going to networking events and joining art, photography groups, and other groups based on my hobbies and professional life. Everything was going on great, chit-chatting with people, exchanging phone numbers, and casually saying, "Hey, we should grab coffee sometime." Seemed easy enough, right? I thought we were just two people making plans for a quick, no-pressure coffee. But then I'd follow up with a message, and that's when the real shock hit. The response was always the same. "Oh, I'm so busy." And it wasn't just a casual, "I have a lot of going on." It was dramatic, like I had just asked them to drop everything and change their entire life for me. The tone of it made me feel guilty for even suggesting we meet up. At first, I didn't get it. Why was everyone so busy? Was it really that hard to find 30 minutes for a coffee and simple human interaction? What really threw me off was that some of the same people who were too busy to grab coffee with me would later reach out to me for something else, like sell me their services or to invite me to their event. Suddenly, their schedules were wide open. It made me wonder, was being busy some sort of social defense mechanism? Like, was it an excuse to keep things at a distance, to protect yourself from forming connections? Here's the thing I don't get. I've heard so many people talk about how hard it is to make real friends as an adult. And I get it, it is hard. But if everyone's always too busy to spend time with anyone, how is anything supposed to happen? How are we supposed to build friendships if even a short coffee feels like a scheduling crisis? It's a bit of a paradox. People say they are lonely, that they want real connections, but then they rush from one thing to the next, leaving no room for simple things. You can't build relationships when you are always sprinting through life. People crave those deeper relationships, but they are getting caught up in the rush, missing the space needed to nurture them. Culture is like concrete. It sets long before you arrive. When you move to a new country, you have to adjust, not the culture. And after living in several countries, I consider myself pretty open-minded and flexible. But let me tell you, this "I'm busy" culture, that's one hard to adapt to. And honestly, I'm not even sure I want to adjust to it. Being constantly busy feels like a fast track to burnout. It robs you of the space to explore, reflect, and actually enjoy life. Because here's the truth, it's hard to be creative and constantly busy at the same time. Creativity needs breathing room, it needs slowness, curiosity, time to imagine, to observe, to daydream. If your calendar is always full, where do your ideas even land? When every hour is accounted for, there is no space left for wonder or even simple human connection. When we talk about cultural differences, we often reduce them to surface level things like food, language, and fashion. But there are deeper, more subtle things that shape a culture too. The pace of life, the way people communicate, the unspoken values that dictate what's seen as normal or successful or weird. These things are harder to notice at first, but they're the ones that impact you the most over time. And that's where culture shock becomes something more than just confusion or frustration. It becomes an invitation. It asks you to question your own defaults. It pushes you to think, do I really want to adapt to this, or do I want to hold on to something I value even if it makes me different here? That's the unexpected gift of culture shock. It doesn't just teach you about others, it teaches you about yourself. And if you pay attention, it can guide you toward living with more awareness, more intention, and maybe even a little more freedom.